you like ropes, whips, and chains, you'll like Reverend Mel because she talks about pain.
Welcome back to the Rev Mel Show. And we're going wild and crazy in this room because, you know, they're also looking at the chat room. And what I want to do is I want to give some shout out to some of the people that are in the chat room. Okay, now, if I get this wrong, remember, I'm severely dyslexic, so I'm not the greatest reader in the in the world. Jeremy, sir.
Hey, Jeremy.
Del, Alan Swan, Miss Fania, is that Red?
Oh, Miss Fauna. Hey.
Is that Red Magnolia Girl? Hello. Magic Cat. Taz Rock is from my K-Sex days. He was a follower from when I was at K-Sex.
Kevin.
House of Steel. Ooh, that makes me, that's like, whoo.
See you in a couple of days.
Does he have a big cock too? No. And then we have some questions. We have a question in the chat room for Beth and Disciple. What is that question?
Well, the question is from Beth, or for Beth, I should say, specifically for her. And the question is, knowing how dedicated you are to Tino's needs, how difficult is it for you to monitor your needs, that you always that your needs are always being met? Also, knowing that the way that you are you ever aware of the needs that you may need of
Confucius say
that they're aware of?
Okay. Rather confusing, but
And who asked that question? That was from the House of Steel.
Oh yeah, you guys.
House of Steel, seriously, you guys. You're just
Come on,
you're
Andy.
just messing around, aren't you? Master keeps really good tabs on the slave's needs, and he's very attentive. He's very thoughtful. He's very, he'll notice if there's something going on, if things aren't. There's something. If there's something wrong, maybe not wrong, but different, even with the slave's body, he'll notice. So it's really not, the slave's never really been that tuned into what her needs are and been that, what's the word?
Merc, you have
adamant about fulfilling them on her own.
She doesn't have an agenda.
She doesn't have an agenda. That's a nice slave to have that doesn't have an agenda, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's really important.
Yeah. And I'm no psychic. That it's not. We're downright happy most of the time, and so when something's annoying either one of us, it's not something we can hide from the other very easily.
Yeah.
And it's usually the frustration is to you push away that vanilla part of the world, like you say, we try to keep it away. That's annoying us because and we've said to each other more than once, it's my head space is just like my work's freaking me out, or my kids are freaking me out. Somebody else is bothering us. But we each notice it, and if we don't notice it, we usually say it to each other.
Wow.
And as Beth says, it's not a complaint. It's just a point of reference, just in case you're wondering what's going on. I'm going to tell you.
It's good to have a point of reference.
I'm not complaining. I'm just letting you know that
Slave Bren.
Well, on that question is, when you get in this type of relationship, you need to be really sure who you're handing that authority over to. Mm-hmm. And when I handed that authority over to my master, I made sure I did all the homework required to who I was choosing to do that to. So therefore, my focus needs to be 100% on his needs. If I focus on his needs and he's happy, he's 100% doing the exact same thing for me and focusing on my needs. Does that mean that sometimes things happen in our everyday life where he may forget something or whatever? Yeah, that has happened. But I think what we're good at is communicating that. Maybe it's not the best communication all the time. Something may be going on, but we are going to communicate that something is not right, and we will immediately get right back on track and fix that.
Well, if I can just jump in, again, the protocols that I was talking about in here takes care of that as well. For instance, we're like any other couple in existence. Sometimes we will have an argument, and yet we have a way to resolve that argument, which is within
My way. No, just joking.
within the MS paradigm, which is I take a seat on the couch, I call her over, she comes, kneels, puts her head on my knee, and we are silent for a while, and that grounds both of us.
Yeah.
It flushes away any anger or harsh feelings, and then we're able to reassert the dynamic of the relationship. When you do this all the time, you figure out ways to circumvent building up resentments and conflicts that will explode and cause a destruction to the relationship.
How important is their needs to you two?
I own her. She is, that ownership is a flesh of my flesh thing. If she is injured, I am injured. If something goes wrong with her, something goes wrong with me. It's paramount. It is paramount. Her needs are paramount to me.
The compatibility is scary, to the point of disbelief when we first met.
So compatibility is very
skeptical.
important. Yeah.
Yeah, when you say how are your needs met, again, people get locked in these stereotypes of what a dom should do or a master should do, and if she likes pain, I shouldn't do it because I'm going to be mean to her. I like inflicting pain. She likes receiving pain. Why fight that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Exploit it to the best of your fulfillment. So, when it comes to trying to figure out whose needs are being met, when you observe us, you can never tell. They both are.
Yeah.
And hell, it's got to be a lot of luck involved with that too. But it's a lot of, there's two parts. It should be simple. I think it's very simple to have success. You have to know yourself more than anything else. You have to really be confident in yourself, and then don't compromise, and go out there and try to find that complementary person. And it's going to be rough at first. You smooth out the edges. You document it as they have. We did the same thing, and it was a long, involved process.
Do you have a contract also?
Absolutely.
And you have a
We
contract?
absolutely have a contract
Do you
right here.
renegotiate these contracts?
Ours, no, because ours really was written with the sense of long term, and we waited long enough, 18 months. We waited long enough to decide, are we authentic here? And that's another thing I want to throw out to people so that they hear that word. It's about authenticity. I can no more not do this than I can, suddenly grow hair. I cannot grow hair.
Let me see that hat.
This is naturally who I am.
That's hot.
Every
That's
woman,
Yes.
women look so hot in
She
a
licked my
trilby.
pussy with that hat on, Master.
Yeah,
I like hats.
It's you.
you got to keep wearing that, sweetheart. We'll get her in the trilby world. I can no more not be like this than I could fly or breathe underwater.
So negotiation is really important. Is sitting down when you first meet is to really sit down and find out if you are on the same page. Correct, Beth?
Yes. It was real simple for us. He's dominant, the slave is submissive. We went from there.
How do you handle unrealistic expectations?
From
Do
who?
it.
From who?
There is always unrealistic expectations in every relationship that anyone has ever been in.
No, if you're setting yourself up for failure, and you do that.
And do you think that if you have those realistic expectations that you're really not being transparent?
Everyone's psychology is certainly different. Whatever they bring into the relationship, it's usually called baggage, is unique to them. There have been instances where Slave Bren's background was creating a barrier to a certain type of play. Okay, now, it would be an unrealistic expectation of me to say, hey, get over that and do what I'm saying because you're the bitch slave and I'm the master. If I'm doing that, I am violating the core of the authenticity. I am not embracing the actual master slave credo. I want to be honest and I want to have integrity and I value her.
And that's what our lifestyle is supposed to be about.
I do not. She's not just somebody to use and discard.
Is DS a relationship or is it a lifestyle?
It's both.
It depends on the person.
Depends on the person?
Yeah.
Again, I can't separate that from my life. But people who can, that doesn't make it wrong. that they can. You know, there was a lot of weekend warriors in my life, and until meeting Beth, my expectations were not realistic to anybody I ever met. So if you met me before meeting Beth, I'd say I had unrealistic expectations.
I think we all
the day
start off
after
that
I
way.
met her, I knew that they were realistic.
We have a question in the chat room.
Yes, Honest One would like to know that are the couples exclusive to each other? And if so, do they see that as a reason for their long-lasting relationship?
Oh, the guys are smiling.
Okay.
Merc, you're first.
Oh well, talk about exposure. I have never been as monogamous as I have been with Beth.
Wow.
I've never been exclusively with one woman as long as, I set a record after the first 6 months, and every day has been another day with that record. But I don't attribute that to the longevity any more than I attribute, meeting her, other than fate. When you have something, a lot of opportunities have come my way, and the way I treat, play as sexual, when those opportunities come up, it takes a lot of thought to participate, and I've, on that level, I guess I could say I've participated a little bit, but I always look back and say, this is as good as I want it to be. I can't see anything better than this coming down my path. And as much as the opportunities have come up and they're very attractive,
hey baby,
and again, I'm amazed. I am amazed to be able to make that statement that for 6.5 years I've only been with one woman, and that never happened before.
Give me 5.
In my life. but no, I don't think that's a plus or a minus, and it's not meant to be bragging or making somebody feel sorry for me. But
well, if he's had 12 of them, I'll still go, hey man, I like that.
we share. I share Beth a lot. I consider sharing Beth every time somebody pops her picture up in Flickr. I'm very proud of her.
Speaking of pictures.
So in that respect, we're not monogamous because we share a relationship with anybody who asks, but that intimacy level has only been shared between us for 6.5 years.
Now, what is this book? This is the Beth book.
We love meeting people, and we met some wonderful people. We just came back from 3 weeks in Europe at the beginning of the summer, and we met these people from a site called Collar Me, and they said, we'd love to show you around London. And the first day we were there, Darcy in the Dark, we have to mention them from Collar Me. Hopefully they got a shout out, but I think it's 9 hours. It's already tomorrow there.
Beth, the camera loves you.
And
gorgeous.
They said they'd love to take us around, and then we showed up Friday night in London, and 20 people were there to meet us, and we closed a pub, and we partied with them. We went out with them for 3 days, and they said, we'd love to take your picture, and we thought they were going to send us a little souvenir, and Darcy in the Dark prepared this coffee table album that I couldn't be prouder of how Beth...
Nice boobies.
She looks even better in person, but that's a hell of a book.
These are fabulous.
With it.
These are fabulous, and these are wonderful book.
But we just meet people, and we share each other. We share our partnerships, but we don't share that part of us.
You guys.
We're a little different,
Yeah.
given there's some poly in us. For her,
It's that big girth.
it's for Slave Brenda, the bisexual needs will never be met by me.
Yeah.
Okay, so just at that level, we explore.
Yeah, you don't have a clit.